Interpolation. Welcome to the stream. Hey Justin, welcome back. Does my mic works. That looks amazing. This is not mine. I'm currently tracing for an experiment, but you can check out my stuff on my channel. I do make original animations. I'm the guy who animated the Gangsta Plague Doctor. And I have upcoming projects. So yeah, this is scientific. I don't know if you came in from Twitter or this just dropped in your recommend, but this is gonna be a scientific, pseudo-scientific experiment. Putting the 60 FPS interpolation debate, hopefully, to put an end to that debate, basically. And yeah, it's gonna be a pain in my sweet bum. You know what? It's worth it. But to clarify, this is not mine. I'm just gonna create a 60 FPS version of this with hand, and then I'm gonna interpolate it with an AI as well, and then we'll see the results. But during that time I can chat, because this doesn't take too much of my attention. Except for these long strokes. Doesn't have to be 100% precise anyway. Colors really do. I think I should do the what should I do polls more often. Yeah, I just realized that yeah, I can do polls. Why don't I do more polls? So for this occasion, because I had so many projects on hand. By the way, I'm gonna finish the other two projects as well. It's just that I have scrammed them I've scrammed too many projects back to back, and that's my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. but I'll finish them in time. It's gonna take a bit, but it's gonna be finished. And I will do more polls, even dumb ones like what's your favorite coffee or tea, you know, just for the algorithm sometimes. And I hate to do that, but I think the algorithm wants me to, because otherwise I start to get, you know, the recommendations feed don't get much attention when I stay inactive for short periods of time. And when I say short periods, it's like a week maybe. And once I stop streaming, like on Sunday, and I give it a break, even that hurts my algorithm too much. But this Netflix project thing is moving along nicely. And that's gonna bring some more streaming excuses, let's say. So I might take only one day of break from streaming and then keep on going, like maybe 2 days. So yeah, I might end up streaming way more often in the future. And when I say future, I mean 2 weeks, maybe 1 month at best, depending on the situation. But if everything goes by the schedule, I'm currently finishing up the concepts for the pilot episode, and it's going to be finished this week. And if everything goes according to plan, I'll be starting the animation process for the pilot. And some scenes I'm going to have to record, but most of them I can stream. I've seen people find the emoji polls, and I hate them. I hate them because everyone is doing it. Emoji polls? Even people that I have never seen pop up might recommend it to me. I've never seen those emoji polls. Like they put just random emotes and you vote random emotes without any text. I can't see emotes because I never use the mobile app of YouTube. It's probably visible on that, but on PC it's not visible. It just appears as a square. Hey, Kalito Shimoro, welcome to the stream from Ukraine. I'm just off the sea, by the way. I'm from the country that is across the Black Sea. You know. You know where that is. Damn, do I have to draw these in? Yeah, I have at least this one. What they do is put a large group of emojis and then tell you to find a different one. Oh my god, it's this Facebook type thing. Wow, I've never seen those, by the way. Like, that's great for me, I guess. My recommended feed is pretty clean, I guess. What am I doing? Well, I'm doing a hand-drawn 60 FPS animation right now. Of course, this is not mine. I'm tracing from a real animated show. But what this aims to do is, there's this debate going on about, does 60 FPS AI interpolated animation look better? And so instead of doing a video, I decided to make a true 60 FPS animation myself. And by myself, I mean tracing one and, you know, drawing in more frames by hand. And so, yeah, this is kind of a pseudo-scientific experiment. I'm sure the AI is gonna get some things right, but on most cases it's gonna screw up big time. And if it screws up even on the minorest thing, on the smallest thing, it won't count as a replacement or a tool for 60 FPS animation, period. Because an AI has to do his job fully. It needs to be able to do the job completely. You know, when you have a self-driving car that is being driven by an AI, it has to be able to overcome many problems. Otherwise, it can't fulfill its purpose. So what else do we have? Okay. I did work some frames in off stream because it's going to take a long time. What computer do you have? It's a potato. I don't have a computer. I'm working on PC though. It's OEM? How do you say it? I didn't buy a full computer. I just bought pieces, you know, parts, different parts, and put everything together. That's the cheaper way, and it's the more efficient way. Because you have to pay attention for the graphics card and the compatibility with the motherboard, and in some cases the GPU as well. It's way more efficient if you put the parts together yourself. Or you can buy them and someone in the store can put those together. I couldn't put myself, so I had a friend who was a developer for mobile apps. He knew everything about computers, so he helped me put the PC together. But yeah, it's pretty old. Like, it's like almost 8 years old now. Wow. I'm so glad PCs don't advance too much as before. Like, throughout the early 2000s, you would buy a computer and 2 years later it would become obsolete because GPU power especially, and RAM, and graphics cards even, they advanced so fast during those times up until the 2010, like for a decade. It advanced so fast, your PC would become obsolete in like 2 years or 3 years. This is a calculator. Now mine is also not that great. Like, my drawing tablet is probably worth more money than my PC. And my drawing tablet is not that expensive. It's an XP pen. It's like this Chinese, but it's a good tablet. Like, it's not bad, but it's cheap. That's why I bought it. if you're into doing 2D animation, you don't need a big PC anyway, unless it's gonna be cutout animation. If you're into cell animation, however, you don't need that big of a PC, at least for small scale projects, because the PC is not going to render anything. It's going to be all drawn. It probably just needs a bit of RAM, and 4 gigs. 4 gigs enough. You can make it work with 2 gigs even. And that's because the file sizes tend to be a bit bigger in some softwares. But yeah, other than that, you can make animation with pretty much... iPads have animation softwares on them, which are 2D cell animation softwares. It doesn't have much in terms of tweening, but they work pretty fine. I've never seen someone who said, hey, Procreate is lagging. Have I seen Gertie the dinosaur? Which is one of the worst. I thought the first ever animation made was this horse animation, and it's not was it animation? Or was it the first film ever? And when I say film, this guy created a box, and you would look into this, it's like a telescope, but instead of a lens, there is this film moving, and you would spin it, I guess. You either wind it or spin it from the top of it or from the side. And you would spin it, and pictures would quickly move in one direction, and it creates this illusion where this horse was running. But was it an animation, or was it a string of photographs? I can't remember, but it might be. It was made in 1914. Okay. Let me check it quickly. Oh wow. It's 13. For 1914, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna quickly go through this. Sorry, I have to quickly check it out. Okay, Gertie. Oh my god, there's real life footage. Okay. So this animation is really short. Okay, let me get to the animation part. Just 1 second. I know I can't show this to you because probably copyright. Wow, this looks like it was drawn in MS Paint. Wow, the lines are super clean. And yeah, the animation techniques obviously are not polished because first ever animation, but wow. They've probably put a lot of work in it. Wow. I never knew that. I never seen this, and this goes for quite a while. Okay, it has some effects. Wow, they use speed lines. This is amazing. Well, it's probably not that. Oh, it's not speed lines. Okay, it's water. Okay, sorry. But it shouldn't be surprising because, up until this point, there were still newspaper caricatures and drawings and whatnot. So yeah. Okay, I sleep in me. 03 crime. Hey, thank you for joining the stream. Quets. No, it's not speed lines. It's water. The speed lines are, in anime. When speed lines are, when in anime, let's say some character is running, and to emphasize the speed he's going in, if the camera is following the guy from the front or from the back, they would draw in these speed lines, they would go like this on the edge of the frame to emphasize on the speed. But it shouldn't come as a surprise when it was used on the first ever animation, because newspaper drawings and caricatures, they probably use it on that. Yeah, I never saw that animation. It's ridiculously clean, by the way, for being made in 1914. Okay, this is done. And this is probably the last post with this. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna come to the sweet time after this one. I'm gonna have to copy the border on every frame because coloring. In the future, I'm gonna get those big tablets just so it would be easier to trace on. No, don't buy a tablet for tracing. Buy it if you're, I talked about it on a couple of streams, but unless you're gonna draw detailed backgrounds or concept art, you don't need a big tablet. If you're just gonna do animation, 13 inches is enough. Don't go smaller than 13. But anything bigger, 15 inches would be the sweet spot, but not many companies make, for some reason. Not many of them do 15 inch. You get what I meant, I'm not going to trace other people's work. Oh, you mean clean up? Yeah, but like I said, if you're going to do animation, you don't need that big of a tablet. Unless you're gonna draw super detailed backgrounds, it's not necessary. Hey! Yeah, let me turn down the music a bit. And there we go. Yeah, how's the music now? Let me know. No, it's fine, thanks. Slammery, welcome to the stream. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? You love my animations. Thank you. Well, at least for this stream, there's gonna be a lot of tracing. In fact, this whole stream is gonna be about tracing right now, but that's temporary. Like, this kind of project is gonna be like once every full moon, and not even that frequent. Like, I probably never do this type of project again in the future. And this is not a project, really. This is more of a, like I said, scientific experiment. But goddamn, I'm so sick and tired of people just blabbering about 60 FPS interpolation. Show your work, okay? You probably have those friends in your neighborhood or, you know, class or whatever. They would say, "Oh yeah, I'm working on this project. Yeah, it's like this music project, okay? And I have this idea for this album, and it's gonna be fucking great, man. It's gonna be so awesome." And he would just annoy you with it for months on end, and like a year would pass by, and you would ask him again, "Hey, yeah, so what happened to your album or project or whatever?" "Yeah, well, yeah, it's still going on, man. I'm still doing it. It's gonna turn out great. It's gonna be the most awesome thing." No, you're not working on your project. Don't fool yourself. You can't bring yourself to work on it. So instead of doing that, you know, instead of just putting the theory on the table, I'm gonna prove that this doesn't work. I'm more of the type of guy that would show what I've done instead of talking about it, going off theories and whatnot. Sorry guys, I just had to take care of business for a minute. Who is the character? This is Panty. No, this is Stocking from Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, made in 2011 or 10, I can't remember, by Gynax. Great show, but it ends on a cliffhanger and there's no second season. So bummer, but jolly good show. I should actually not to cock block or anything, but this tracing shit I have to do off stream actually, because this is really not, I don't know if you enjoy watching me just trace stuff. I should do the tracing off stream. At least for tomorrow, I'm gonna start, you know, yeah, for tomorrow I'm gonna start doing the in-betweens. But until then, I have to get rid of the tracing stuff. Because this is probably not something anyone, you know, yeah, you guys are watching, and thank you for that, but you wouldn't watch this for pretty long, I guess. But this is kind of more like a relaxed, chit chat oriented. The chatting is a bit more heavily emphasized, I guess. Which show is emotional? Adventure Time or regular show is not emotional. And I don't know about Adventure Time because I haven't seen it. That style is really putting me off. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes, I am streaming tomorrow. Like yesterday, my last stream, I was kind of sick. I had a headache, and a couple of days later, I had this really bad stomach. For some reason, my stomach was acting up, and yeah, it was not pleasant. But that was a one week thing. And I made this community post with a knee-jerk reaction, I guess. But yeah, I have to stream more. It's just that I'm new to this thing still. I'm learning. But I've gotten way more comfortable. I don't get nervous as before. And I figured everything out, on the technical side of things. And like I said, I'm gonna stream way more once this pilot project is off the ground and I start streaming on that. Okay. And Netflix show you recommend? Well, I can't say specifically for Netflix because Netflix is buying a lot of stuff. Great Pretender. I only watched the first episode of it, but from what I've seen, at least visually, it's wonderful. Visually, it's perfect. I can't say much for, I can only talk for the first episode, and it looks like it's kind of the pseudo it's what this show pretty much says in the title. It says Great Pretender. Like there's this group of con artists that are just going around the country ripping off people, rich people. So that's what the show is about. If that's kind of your type of thing, I would recommend that. Was it on Netflix still? I am not sure. Netflix has a lot of stuff. No, let's do this. Okay, this is gonna be a bit more simpler. Yeah, anime is slowly getting better in terms of technical animation. In story, meh. Yeah, in story it's always meh. Like last season with Mushoku Tensei. Then again we got X-Arm. Oh, I've seen X-Arm. And I can't talk for the story once again, but visually, oof. Like the mistake they made was CGI. And implementing anime faces into CGI is a pain. Hello, good sir. What is happening? I saw this one video. This is one of the videos I could watch and I got interested. Thank you, Melody Songbird. Welcome to the stream. This is, like the title says, I'm doing a scientific, I hate to say scientific, pseudo-scientific experiment in which I'm gonna make a truly 60 FPS animated segment of 6 seconds, but I'm gonna also interpolate it with AI. The animation was originally made with 24 to 12 FPS. It goes back and forth. In animators' term, this is called 3s and 4s and 2s. Rarely they animate in 1s, at least for anime. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna animate on 60 FPS, all 1s, no 2s, no nothing, completely 1, because that's what the AI is gonna do. And then I'm gonna run it through an AI and compare it. It's gonna be a big video, and when I say big, no, it's not gonna be like 2 hours long. It's gonna be 10 minutes, but it's gonna have a lot of juicy findings. Well, at least that's what I expect. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. Like in this segment, like, okay, let me play it for you. In this segment, okay, what are my predictions? Let's talk about predictions here. Okay, let's open this up and immediately turn off sound. Okay, the sound is turned off. So let's go frame by frame. Okay. So okay, no, let's play this for a couple of times. Okay. So this is basically the animation. So yeah, basically she creates the sword and then she whacks it down, cleans the dust or whatever, and then does this nice swinging motion, okay? From what I heard, the problem with X-Arm was they used motion capture for animation, but then left it at that. Yeah, that's a big problem. That animation to look over the mat, yeah, that never works. And the models, like the models are not suited for anime faces. Anyway, so my predictions here are, so up until this point, which is, okay, up until this point, maybe it's okay. But pay attention to the blue, the turquoise or the light blue pattern, okay? It comes up, this one here. This here, this light blue stripe, it comes from below. Like when you play the animation, the eye reads this as this stripe is coming from down below, okay? But the AI is gonna morph it from this previous frame right here. Where is the frame? Okay, I'm gonna play it. Like, yeah, you see that? It's popping up immediately, but the eye sees that. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, there's gonna be no problems here. This is also fine, fine, fine. Then here it might do some weird morphings from with her head because it's coming from off frame. Okay, so up until this point it's gonna be also fine because these are really subtle movements. But okay, this frame might also cause problems because once again, and here, okay, these are fine. This might also once again can cause problem because it's completely covering the screen, but it also, you know, kind of is suitable for morphing. Okay, up until this point there's not gonna be much again. This hand motion is brilliant, by the way. Like, I love this animation. Okay, here. So what happens here is she goes off frame, okay, but then comes back again. And first of all, this sparkly thing, the AI might screw up on that as well. And look at this. Okay, it's gonna be okay up until this point. Up until here, yeah, it's gonna be really fine up until here. This frame is gonna confuse the AI once again. This one too. Then, okay, so here is the biggest expectation for me is this section right here, okay? So really, there are these blade marks that come from her blade, okay? And it loops, kind of. It comes from herself and it moves towards the camera. CJ, welcome. I'm gonna read the chat in a minute. But, so to the eye it looks like that, but the AI won't be able to tell this. That is my expectation. And it will just morph these blade marks that are coming towards you back to the ones that start to spawn in. So yeah, those are my expectations. Plus that studio was original live action studio. Oh, that's, yeah. I wish Disney would do 2D animation again. They were good. Yeah, they were perfect. But, you know, 3D animation is a lot more efficient, and I can't say if it's cheaper, but I would assume, I don't know the technical side of it, but it is cheap because they went the 3D way. You know, it's definitely cheaper. If it wasn't cheaper, 3D animation wouldn't have been a thing. So yeah, but I also wish, and it's a shame too, like this movie came out recently and it even got nominated for Oscars, Wolfwalkers. It didn't get the Oscar, but it was nominated, and it's a pretty good movie. It's 2D, and it's not Disney. I'm gonna be learning a lot about animation and how it works. I've been interested in animation for a while, and I know the drawing animation frame by frame, but there's still that I don't know. I also didn't know much about animation. It's a journey, but if you put time into it, you can come to a respectable place within, let's say, minimum 1 year, maximum 2 years, and then you can build it more and more after that. Simple, you draw and move that with each frame. That's how you animate. Yeah, that's basically it, doesn't it? Yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot. There's a lot of different things to keep in mind when you animate different things. Like, for example, the blade effect. That is a completely different concept. You know, the fundamentals of looping, for example, smoke animations. Like, I had to learn many things just to be able to animate a smoke loop. You know, like a fire burns and there's smoke coming up. And you know, you have to be able to construct from very basic shapes. Okay, like I'm gonna, to summarize how the smoke would work is you draw circles, okay, and if you just draw the in-betweens of two different smoke frames directly, it's just gonna morph randomly, right? So what you're gonna do is you have to draw like 4 balls or circles on top of each other randomly. Then you move those circles upwards, but you have to despawn one circle by making it go smaller, okay, and from the bottom more has to come out. The one from the bottom can start as its normal size. So yeah, so then once you loop that, okay, then you can draw in the smoke lines. That's basically the fundamental way of animating smoke, for example. And then there's completely different things for walk cycles, running cycles, you know, many different things. what I'm getting from this Hands on Fire and Hurt. Radio, hey, hoş geldin. Okay, his nickname says Radioactive Dragon, and that's a pretty cool name. But yeah, this is an English stream only. I apologize. I can't talk. Yeah, I can't talk. This is a free country. But I prefer not to. Just to not alienate the other lovelies here. But yeah, it's a journey. You can't learn animation like in... Okay, another advice, okay, and this is not about technical issues, but when you learn animating and you start hitting a wall and you feel like you can't improve anymore, that's when you have to put more time, or you have to rethink on how to approach things in terms of learning animation. Once you jump over that wall, that's when you really start to learn. Okay, I did hit a wall when I was learning animation, and I thought, okay, I can't go any further. I even started to doubt myself whether or not I can really become a real animator, or am I gonna be stuck with these shitty cash grab, kids cartoons and whatnot. And there are good kids cartoons out there, but the stuff I'm talking about is like a couple of levels higher than Spider-Man and Elsa stuff, okay? But yeah, I tried my best to improve myself during those times, and it was really hard, and I had many sleepless nights, but I got the hang of it, and then bam, okay, I'm great again. Well, I'm not great, but I regained my confidence and learned much more after that point. The same goes with drawing, illustration as well. Like, in terms of illustration, I'm still at that wall. I can't draw good backgrounds still. I have to put time into that and actually learn how to draw nice backgrounds. It's the same with drawing as well. Yeah, like that. Sometimes you need to practice more to improve. I don't think it's, at least when you hit the wall, it's not about practice from my experience, because not just for animation but also for learning English, I hit the same wall, like where I couldn't improve anymore, but I knew there was a lot more to improve. I believe when you hit that wall, you have to not just practice anymore. Yeah, you have to practice still, but you have to start thinking outside the box. Let me put it like that. That's probably more accurate. It's kind of like, I don't know which, is there an MMORPG where I can give an analogy to that? Like, in some games, for example, like let's take single player games for example, like, oh, Mega Man, yeah, classic NES Mega Man. You get a weapon, okay, you get a fire weapon, and then an ice weapon, and then let's say shock weapon, okay, electricity. The wall you're hitting is like, okay, you have 3 different weapons, but to beat, I don't know, Tree Man, you need a water weapon, which you don't have. Okay, so you have to go beat Water Man. It's pretty much like that. You have to think about the situation you're on and then do something accordingly. You can't just go guns blazing and practice blindly more and more and expect for things to change. At least that's my experience. I gotta go. Hey Melody, thank you for joining in regardless. Come back anytime. This is a chill stream. gonna go need to let my phone charge. I hope you find out something interesting. Yeah. Thank you. Hope you have a nice day. I watched the first episode of Better Call Saul again. Better Call Saul. And there's this African American lady in the court who gives paychecks for, finished lawsuits. And she just gives, a paycheck for $700, where Jimmy is expecting like $2,100. But yeah, Saul or Jimmy yells at the lady for a bit and then says, "Oh, it's gonna be a cold day in hell" and whatnot, and then just runs off. And the lady just really calmly, I love that line, or the lady's behavement there, like just calmly says, "You have yourself a nice day." Like, it's so sweet. There's the school that every teacher is Nigerian. What? Well, it could be. Why is that so weird? Have you ever heard the compliment, "Nice drawing, I can't even draw a stick figure"? Yeah, but in Turkey, there's this weird way of complimenting people. So, yeah, they say that, okay? They say, "Oh, I can't even draw a stick figure. You are really, really talented," okay? But then they would go on and give you like advice on what to do with your talent, okay? And I would constantly tell them, "Look, dude, it's not that easy. Like, yeah, knowing how to draw is one step, but you also need connections and whatnot." But they would say, "Oh, you're a fucking dumbass, man. You know English too. You can speak German too, and you can draw. And you're stuck with me this was in college, by the way. And you're stuck with me, going through college. Like, fuck off," he would say. "Piss off. Get, draw for a magazine or, these newspaper type deals." And no one would understand what my actual goal would be with animation, for example. I had this friend who works for the Turkish Airlines right now. And he's not a pilot or anything. He's a ground, mechanic. Every summer, when he comes to, visit me, he would tell about his new job. He recently just got accepted to the Turkish Airlines after a hefty training, like 6 months of training. So he'd come to me and would say, "Oh yeah, I'm making lots of money, man, like, and I have a bright future and it's gonna be excellent, and I have I got married, I'm about to have children, life is great, like, this job is great, man, and you can speak German and you can speak English. Why didn't you come here, man? You should be working here. Now you're ruining your own life." And what they can't understand is, I've given up on my life, dude. Like, there was a period of time after I graduated where I did work in like those shitty jobs. I was a salesman for some medical company, and I only worked for 3 months because that was my limit. Like, I couldn't take any more, and I just quit because the pay was absolute garbage. The work times were absolute garbage, like crunch time upon crunch time. Like, all I did was work all day, go back home, eat something, take a shit, go to sleep, wake up next day, go to work until the evening, come back home, eat something, take a shit, go to bed, on constant loop, no weekends, okay? 3 months straight. And that, you know, that changes people. And I may have become depressed during that time, because this thought started to pop into my mind, like, okay, is this really what life all is about? Like, work until I'm retiring, until my retirement. If I'm lucky, get married, make a couple of children, and then go on your merry way until I'm dead, without, you know, putting anything behind, and just work, like Tuco in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly says. I have to work for a living, but I have to kill myself working. Like, what is this life, really? And I got depressed, and I just quit. And I said to myself, okay, boom or bust. I either start making a career in animation or comic books or whatever, or I straight up was suicidal during those times. Like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna starve to death if I have to. I don't care, this life sucks. And this friend of mine, he didn't understand that mind state, or he couldn't understand that thought, because from his perspective, that really is what life is all about. Like, earn money, get married, make some children, work until retirement. That's it. Don't do anything productive. You just have to consume. But that's what my problem was. Like, I want to leave something behind. I want to be, you know, it's not about even me. Like, I just want to leave a message behind. Yeah, but that mindset, man, I can't understand that mindset. Neither can they understand mine. And it's a real pickle. This turned out to be way more complicated than I thought it would be. Wow. Imagine animators drawing this complex of characters without any tracing even. Like, they drew this out of their mind. And this is a really simple character too. Like, compared to other anime standards. This is an extremely simplified character. let's see. Here's her hair. Sorry, gotta go. Yeah, I'm gonna close the stream, by the way, anyway, so thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, once I'm done with this hair. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close the stream. This is getting really... This is not pleasant to look at, I would assume. So, yeah, I'm gonna trace these off stream. And tomorrow, I either gonna finish the snapback meme or continue on the Plague Doctor Fortnite dance. But thank you for joining the stream. I hope you had a nice day. I'm sorry I had to trace all stream, but this is a one-time thing. This kind of tracing shenanigans never happens again. I don't want to talk big, but I don't want to make it happen again. So yeah, thank you for joining the stream, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers!